Here we are again.
Yes, sir. I mean,
Here we are again.
what a crazy situation. And what a crazy morning as well. I mean, I want to get your thoughts on the card as well, but obviously first, Martin, just want to get you to tell us what the hell happened. Your fight with Kim Jae Woong is off now. You were going to fight him today, I think, and it was going to be broadcast next week. Co-main event, one TNT 2. And the word came down to me yesterday that was not going to happen. Just what happened?
Dude, the most unfortunate situation you'll ever come across. The most unfortunate. I was ready to go. I felt so amazing. I felt so amazing. This fight camp was a dream. And in saying that, we came over here. I had my coach with me. I had a couple of teammates that were fighting on the same card, Troy Worthen, moving around with him, and Mitch also as well. So felt amazing, man. Nothing could get in the way of me getting my hand raised against Kip. And in saying that, on the third day, just woke up to bad news, man. I felt amazing. I did the photo shoot, done everything. I was like, yes, time's almost clear. I'm fighting within a day and a half, which is meant to be this morning. And yeah, got the news that the guy traveling from Qatar airport over to Singapore, the guy who was sitting right in front of me, I had a whole row to myself. I slept the whole flight. I lied down. I didn't even go to the toilet. I did not leave my seat at all. The guy that was sitting directly in front of me tested positive for COVID. Once we landed in Singapore, they make us do like a PCR test, and that result for him came back positive. And in saying that, the Singapore government traced it back to the seating arrangements, and unfortunate that I was just sitting behind this guy who was positive. And Singapore don't muck around when it comes to COVID itself, and that's why it's one of the leading countries in the world with the lowest cases. So it is what it is. I'm gutted. I'm devastated that I was pulled from the card. I was in amazing shape, mentally, physically, and it is what it is. Now I'm stuck here, 12 days in quarantine, and yeah, can't do anything about that.
So you're now in the hotel still in Singapore.
Today is my third day in the hotel.
Is it the same fighters hotel?
No, completely moved away from the fighters bubble. I'm somewhere downtown in the Singapore government monitored hotel.
So you've got to stay there for another 10, 12 days?
Nine-ish days, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, there's only so much you can do. I usually get 2 workouts in a day, usually about half an hour workout, get a good sweat in, but there's only so much you can do to stay in shape. And, I'm trying to stay positive. I'm talking to my wife daily, because I've been away from the family for 7 weeks now. So I try to talk to my wife. I talk to my teammates, talk to my coach, my brother Angla and Till, and my coach Chrysler, who's here with me in Singapore, but he's at the Fighters Bubble Hotel. So, man, it's just a very unfortunate situation, man. I'm gutted that it happened, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. But yeah, it is what it is, man.
Well, I'm gutted for you too, because I know that's the third camp now in 4 fights, I think, where you haven't had a fight at the end of it. Just how are you staying so positive, Martin?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Luckily, I have my wife, and luckily, I have my teammates to talk to, and the One Championship staff have been amazing, literally amazing, hands down. Regardless of me not being able to fight, they're still looking after me, regardless. And everything is everything that comes from their mouths is positivity, and that's how I take it. Life. If it's something that's out of my control and I realistically can't do anything about it, then I won't put any time and stress into it. And even though there's like I've done 5 COVID tests, so I've done 1 before jumping on a plane. I did 1 landed. when I landed. I did a swab with one championship and a blood test with one championship, and I also done a swab with at the hospital with the Singapore government. All 5 have come up negative, and I still feel fine now. But I understand the situation where it can take days for it to show and whatever. So this is them just monitoring it, and I just got to be thankful that I'm healthy, I'm happy, and the fight can be rebooked at a later date, regardless. So
is Kim? What's going on with him? Is he still in Singapore? Is he in quarantine?
Oh, yeah, he's still here, but they're probably flying. They're probably flying back. He's with all the other fighters. They're probably flying back somewhere where he doesn't have to quarantine, or they're probably flying back to Korea, where he'll quarantine and we'll just mentally restart. But regardless, we signed the contract. We both signed the contract that we both have to fulfill, regardless of this situation right now. So I know who my next opponent's going to be, and he knows who his next opponent's going to be. It's just a matter of when one championship can do it, and when we both can be deemed fit to do it. So,
is there a chance you could do it on the 29th on that live TNT card? If the stars align, would you be comfortable doing it after a weird build-up like this?
Look, dude, like me as a fighter, ego's sake, I'll say, yeah, 100%, man. I'll take the fight on a week, 2 weeks notice. But at the moment, I'm out of rhythm, man. It's only been 3 days here, and my body's out of rhythm completely. I'm not used to, just jumping around, jumping jacks and skipping in it's there's staying in shape and there's staying in fight shape, and I'm completely away from fight shape within 3 days now, because there's only so much you can do. Whereas when I was in the fighters hotel, I was able to hit pads, I was able to grapple, have that fight shape ability and capability to keep on top of. But realistically, man, I don't think my body will stay. I've still got another 9 days in here. It could be worse, it could be the same. So we don't know. But I don't think I'll be ready for the 29th. And in saying that, I spoke to my coach Henry, and I spoke to Angla, and we said we were never going to fight on the same card regardless of the circumstances. But if the circumstances were good, then I would have. But it's just the matter of fact that I'm in quarantine, and mentally and physically, I would not be in shape to get in shape within the 9 days that after I get released. There's no physically way of me being able to get in fight shape 9 days after quarantine to be able to fight. So unfortunately, it is what it is. We can rebook it for a later date, 100%. It's going to happen this year. The fight's going to happen this year, and my world title fight, as I said, within 12 months, I said I'll get that world title back. So I'll do whatever it takes to do it.
Do you think you will go home now when you get out to Australia, spend some time there before you think about rebooking it, or would you consider going straight back to Florida if they get it on a bit earlier?
Yeah, so I'm yet to talk to Rick. I broke the news to you first, but I'm about to call Rick. I'm about to call Rick because he's busy right now. I can't call him. He's got the events still happening now with all the other shows. So I'm yet to talk to Rick and the staff today. If they can fly me back to Florida, if so, this is the ultimatum. If they can get me on a card late May, early June, whatever it is, or mid-May to late May, early June, I'll take the fight. I'll go back to Florida. I'll redo 4 to 5 week camp, and I'll come back and I'll do part 2, right? If they can't get me on those few months, then I can't stay away from my family for that long. I'll go home and then I'll recoup at home, and then I'll fly out to Florida to fight July, August, September, whatever they decide. But for me, realistically, I want to go back to Florida. I've spoken to my wife. We just briefly had a chat. I would rather go back to Florida, get the 4 or 5 weeks to recoup and get back into fight shape, and come out and do it again, and then come home to the family. I'm trying to eliminate the quarantining in Australia as much as possible.
Yeah, difficult situation there, right? Because you have to spend a couple of weeks, or is it 3 weeks when you land back in Australia, just quarantining?
2 weeks, 14 days, yeah.
Yeah, and I
But
imagine
in
that's the
saying
last thing
that,
you
I've
want.
already done 12 days here, so that's a whole month of my life just gone just like that. So it sucks. It really does. And as I said, I would not wish it upon anyone. It was just a unfortunate situation. I feel Actually, I don't feel bad for my opponent, but we both came here for a fight, and it is what it is. It's something that's out of my hands. I'm sure he was ready to fight as well. I'm sure he was itching to go, and it will determine who the next title, who's next for the champ, right? And so this fight is now delayed for until one championship say, okay, this is going to happen on this day, and we'll come out and do it again.
Well, I know you're probably not feeling the best and not super optimistic, but did you at least get to watch the show this morning? It was a crazy show, wasn't it?
Of course, man. Of course, I would not. I haven't missed the one championship show. I've watched it ever since I joined with the company, and I keep my eye on every single fight and every single fighter, and I follow every single fighter's success all the way to the top, or when they're at the top and when they defend. So I'm grateful, and I'll always be a fan of one championship, no matter what. And what a show it was this morning, man! Like what an absolute show it was.
I mean, I want to get your thoughts, if that's all right, just on some of the drama that unfolded. Eddie Alvarez, what do you think of that DQ? He wants to get it overturned and maybe run it back, but Chatri is saying that he thought they were illegal shots. Where do you stand on that?
Yeah, they're illegal shots. They were illegal shots. First couple maybe on the ear, but the rest 4 to 5 shots behind the head. 2 clearly afterwards at the end behind the head. But man, what about Yuri? Huh? Like, how unfortunate for him. Like that fight against Christian, back of the head, and now the fight against Alvarez, back of the head. It's just crazy. But I'm just, we're just praying that Yuri comes out of this, scot-free and not completely injured or any damage to his brain or anything like that. He can rebook the fight with Eddie and do it again. But look, the fighter itself, regardless of first punch or so behind the head, the ref jumps in, the ref will warn them, and it's up to the fighter that's in the attacking position to adjust. And adjust is what we have to do in those shitty situations. If I know I'm punching someone 1 shot, 2 shot behind the head, and the ref warns me, man, I'll adjust completely. I'll let him move to the point where I can see his face clearly, and I'll land a couple more knuckle sandwiches into his face. But Eddie had him in a good position. Unfortunate that Yuri was looking the other way because, it was smart of him, because then that would make Eddie have to adjust to hit those clean shots. But obviously Eddie didn't. He just kept throwing that right hand to the back of the head.
Can you understand
it? Sucks, man. It sucks. Yeah. It sucks, the whole situation, because they both work so hard to get to this fight. And, it's the last thing we want is to injure someone where they can't be going home to their family. But I'm sure they'll run it back. I'm sure they'll run it back sooner than later. My opinion.
Yeah, he was pretty upset. Can you understand the emotional side of it and why he thinks it was fair shot? Do you think it's just clouding his own judgment if it was illegal shots?
No. It was clearly illegal. In my eyes, it was clearly illegal. But dude, it's a cutthroat sport that we do. It's a very, very cutthroat sport. It's a very, very unforgiving sport, no matter what. And it all comes down to the decisions we make in that circle, in that cage. So it's just a very shitty, unfortunate situation for the both of them.
Well, there was more drama, wasn't there? A bit later, Adriano Moraes knocked out, the first guy to ever get a knockout victory over Demetrious Johnson. What did you make of that?
Did you say that was drama? Yeah. Look, I don't want to. DJ is the GOAT, the man, fucking one of the best of the best. But Adriana is on another level, and I've always said it. Adriana's height and size in this weight division is not to be taken for granted. And people in that flyweight division, they're the size of Demetrious. Like they're all tiny compared to. I'm 5'8", and Adriana towers over me, and I feel like man, this guy is like huge in real life. When I stand next to him, I'm like, man, this guy is towering over me. And that was when we went out for dinner, and I was like, oh man, you're pretty big for this weight division. You give anyone in this flyweight division a problem. With size in general, reach advantage is a huge play. And you know what? He's not lanky when it comes to his shots or anything like that. They're not slow. They're super fast, super quick, super technical. And he's a great fighter, man. He did his job. He proved everyone wrong. And you know, good on Brazil.
DJ says he knows what he did wrong, and he doesn't really know what he wants to do next. But what do you think for him? Is it just a bad day at the office? That's what he said.
Yeah, it's just another bad day in the office. We have these days, you know. I can't say nothing much. I mean, Adriano came and he got the job done. Demetrious came. It was just a bad day in the office. We go home, we recoup, and we come back and do it again. This is what we do as fighters, right?
You think Adriano he's going to get the credit he deserves now, I think, because he's been unheralded. I think we haven't seen him for a while, but he's had to sit in the back, and while everyone's been talking about DJ, he's just gone out there and proved his credentials, hasn't he?
I think anyone who wrote Adriano out would be stupid. You know, Adriano is legit, and he's one of the most underground flyweights in the world. And I've known that from day one. Even when we fought on the same card, I was like, man, this guy is very, very good. And with his size and his jiu-jitsu in his favor, man, I always said that he was going to be at the top for a long time. So,
and just back to the reshuffle of things. You mentioned your teammate Troy Worthen is out there. I think they're now targeting him for John Lineker after Stephen Lohman tested positive. I don't know if you can talk about that, or can you? Is that the plan?
I can't talk about it, but yeah, it's something around there. I'll wait till one championship announce that, but yeah, he's got a tough fight ahead of him, but he's one of the best in the world, man, and he can do it.
And when does Ong get out there?
Ong gets here on the 22nd, from what I assume. No, 22nd or 23rd. He flies out or something like that. The fight is on the 28th in TNT time, 29th here. So I'm not sure. I'm not too sure.
So you probably won't. You won't cross over with them. You'll be gone by then, I think.
Yeah. So if anything, once I get out of quarantine here on the 17th or the 18th, whatever day it was, we got to figure out a plan. I still got to talk about talk to one championship if they're gonna let me stay here to watch that fight. If not, then I just get back and do my thing.
All right. Well, I hope maybe just doing the interviews helped you pass the time a bit. I thank you so much.
To be exact, look, Singapore government they put tracking devices on you as well. So this is how serious it gets when you're in quarantine, and how on top of it they get. And props off to the Singapore government, man. They're legit when it comes to taking control of a shitty situation.
What else have you got planned to pass the time? Have you got any video games there or something like that you can get to?
Yeah, shout out to Razer. I got my laptop with me in that corner, and I got my TV, and I got Netflix no chill. And so, yeah, just watch movies all day and just play games as much as I can, pass time, get my little workout in, and go to bed and wake up the next day doing it again.
Oh, man. Well, I have huge admiration, for all the sacrifice you always put in. You work so hard to go through these camps, and I can't imagine what you're feeling like now. So I thank you so much, Martin, for taking the time to talk to me. And yeah, I've just huge respect for what you're doing.
Of course. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry it sucks, this whole thing. I was shocked to find out. And I was looking forward to the fight as well, that was going to be a good fight.
I was doing interviews and I was talking to everyone, did my posts, and, everyone was keen to watch, and I was super excited. I had my shakeout with my coach many times, and I was like, man, I'm ready to go. I'm itching to go. Everything is on point. And then I wake up one morning and I get the bad news. It is what it is.
I forgot to ask, was there like a chance you could have sat in another seat? It was a freak choice that you sat on that one, or was that your assigned seat?
That was my assigned seat. I was like, I was like one of the last to enter the plane. I was talking to my wife on the phone, and I was like the last to enter the plane. And then when I see the last few people boarding, I was like to get on the bus, and I was like, all right, we'll just get on the bus now. And then when everyone was boarding, I was like one of the last in the line, and then I went in. That was the seat on my ticket, and I just sat there, and I wouldn't think in a million years that. One guy would test. Look, it happens, and I know it happens where when you test negative one day and you're positive the next. But in my mind, it's never happened in my life before. So I was like, what are the chances, man, that the guy in front of me tests positive? What are the chances? Like they do a test before 72 hours before jumping on a plane. Like, what are the chances that they get it when they land? It's just crazy, super crazy. But it is what it is.
Well, if you'd have sat like in the other two seats, would they have done the same thing? If you did,
Troy
just because you were direct?
Troy Worthen was 3 seats behind me.
Really?
Next to his cornerman, and there was someone behind, and there was someone behind me as well. So I was like on the plane over when I don't remember seeing anyone in front of the guy in front of me, but for our seat, it was that guy. Apparently that tested positive. There was me, there was someone behind me, and then 2 seats back, it's Troy Worthen and his cornerman. And I was like, and the flight was full of fighters. There was a lot of fighters on the flight coming from the States. So, yeah, man, it is what it is.
Shit. I can't believe it. I mean, I was stunned when they told me this, so I can't imagine how you feel. Just again, respect for you talking about it, and I can't imagine how bad you feel, man. I'm sorry.
At the very start, I was very, very devastated. The whole first day, I was like, is this really happening to me? Am I being, because I was like chauffeured from one place to the next, to the hospital to do tests and come back here and then go to the hotel, and then a whole bunch of information just thrown in my face. Okay, this is the protocols, and you can't do this, you can't do that, and we feed you this, and this is the Wi-Fi, and see you later. And I was like, so much to take in, and I was just like, is this really happening to me? And when reality hit, and I was like, there's nothing I can do, and there's nothing I can physically do about it, or scream or talk or persuade my way around it. I just gotta take it on the chin and Bob's your uncle.
Was there a chance, did they say you might be able to fight still if things in certain situations?
They did offer me the 29th, and they're still offering me the 29th, but realistically that's not going to happen. Like, my body, there's so much at stake at the moment as well, when it comes to this fight in particular, and in saying that, I want to be at my very best to say if I won, then I get a shot at my title back, and I say, man, you fought the best Martin Nguyen. And if I lost, then I would have no excuse. You beat the best Martin Nguyen. Go fight for the title. But for me, I'm not going to go into a fight at this point in time half-hearted and would have, should have, could have, what ifs, and all that stuff. So I'm over that. If I leave my family for X amount of time to do a camp to say all or nothing, right? I'm not gonna risk it over 9 days preparation because of quarantine. So yeah, that's the plan.
But when you were doing those tests, there was no chance that you could still make this fight day. That was a foregone conclusion that you were off this card.
Yeah, I'm negative to date. I've done 5 tests since being here. I'm negative to date, but it was close contact, man, and I get it. I mean, it happens in every country. Every country's got the same protocol: close contact, quarantine, mate. That's it.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm so sorry, man.
Terrible.
Hopefully this has been kind of help you pass the time a little bit. Thank you I normally try and keep my interviews short. I don't want to take your time.
Man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for helping me pass time.
Well, yeah, if I can ask one more question if you want to answer it, then I'll leave you alone. But I spoke to Chatri last week, a couple weeks ago, and he said he's looking at doing Tarnley against Gary Tonin for the title next. Just do you have an early prediction on that, how that one's going to go?
No predictions. Wish them both the best of luck. Good on him.
And you want to meet the winner eventually?
Come out of this fight first is what I'm looking forward to. So Kim is my next guy. Kim is all my focus is on him and solely him. And whatever the outcome may be, will determine my future.
All right, appreciate it as always, Martin, and thank you again.
Cheers,
I'm so
Nick.
sorry. I don't know what to say.
That's all good.
I know nothing I say can make you feel better. So
that's all good, man. I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks again, man. And I'll catch up with you again.
Cheers, bud. Thank you. Bye-bye.